Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to talk about a much smarter, more connected way to manage your finances. You can forget about juggling all these different advisors who never even speak to each other. We're going to explore an all-in-one strategy that's really designed to make every single part of your financial life work together to build some serious wealth. All right, let's get into it. So, let me just start by asking you a really simple question. Think about it for a second. Is your financial team are they actually talking to each other? Your accountant, your financial planner, your mortgage broker, are they on the same page? Honestly, for most people, the answer is a big and often really costly no. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the whole problem. See, on the left, you've got the siloed approach. This is what most people are dealing with. All your experts are working in their own little bubbles. The accountant has no idea what the broker is doing, who has no idea what the planner is advising. It just leads to wasted time and so many missed opportunities. But the goal, what we're talking about today, is on the right. It's that integrated approach where everyone is in a circle, working together, all focused on one thing, your goals. Okay, so how do we actually fix this mess? Well, the answer is what we call an all-in-one solution. It's about taking that financial chaos and turning it into, believe it or not, a coordinated symphony. I just love this analogy. It's perfect. Think about it, right? If your financial team is an orchestra and your big goals are the sheet music, well, you need a conductor. You need everyone playing from the same score. An integrated team, they create a beautiful symphony. But a silo team, that's just a bunch of noise, every instrument playing its own random tune. So here's the core idea in a nutshell. It's all about having your key financial experts, your accountant, your planner, your lending specialist, all working together, sometimes literally under one roof, just down the hall from each other. And what this means is they can have a quick chat, they can collaborate in real time on your strategy. Nothing falls through the cracks, it's seamless, it's way more efficient, and honestly, it's incredibly powerful.
So, a team like this builds your wealth on what we call the four pillars. These are basically the essential building blocks for not just creating your wealth, but maybe even more importantly, for protecting it for the long run.
Okay, pillar number one is the foundation. You have to choose the right structure. So, for example, a freelancer might kick things off as a sole trader. You get total control, which sounds great, but the key risk, you have unlimited personal liability. So as you grow, you might look at a company structure. It costs a bit more in compliance, sure, but it can protect your personal assets, like your family home. Getting this right from day one is absolutely critical. Now, for pillar two. And this is a concept that gives you incredible control over your future, the Self-Managed Super Fund, or SMSF for short. Put simply, it's a private super fund that you are in control of. You manage it yourself. Now, what's the big draw? Well, it unlocks some seriously powerful investment options you just can't get in a regular fund, like being able to buy property directly with your superannuation. So what's the real advantage here? Why would you do this? The power is all in the numbers. Not only can you invest directly in property, but any income and growth inside the fund is taxed at a flat, low rate of just 15%. And here is the real game changer. Once you hit pension phase, that tax rate can actually drop all the way to zero. That is how you seriously accelerate your wealth for retirement.
And the final two pillars are all about protection and efficiency. Pillar 3 is about using things like trusts to build a fortress around your assets, separating them from any business or personal risks. And Pillar 4 is proactive tax planning. This isn't that last-minute scramble at the end of the financial year. No, this is an ongoing strategy to make sure you are legally paying the absolute minimum tax you can, all year round. That means more of your money is working for you.
Okay, so all that theory is great, right? But let's see what it actually looks like when it all comes together in the real world. This case study is the perfect example of the incredible impact a connected team can have. So let's meet our subject. We've got a surgeon, and they're earning about $350,000 a year. Now, like a lot of high-income professionals, their main goal is to build wealth through property. But they want to do it the smartest, most tax-efficient way they possibly can. Now, a really key strategy they're going to use here is something called negative gearing. A lot of people hear that and they just think tax write-off.
But that's really missing the bigger picture. It's actually a wealth creation strategy. That tax benefit is the tool that makes holding a high-growth asset affordable while you're just waiting for its value to climb. So let's break down the numbers for the surgeon's $1 million investment property. You can see it brings in about $41,000, $42,000 a year in rent. But then look at the total expenses, including interest and depreciation, they add up to $69,000. That gap between the two, that creates an official loss, but it's a loss on paper. So that on-paper loss works out to be $27,400 for the year. And this, right here, this is the magic number. This is the figure that the surgeon can now claim against their high income to reduce their total tax bill. And because the surgeon is in a high tax bracket, that loss of over $27,000, well, it generates a massive tax refund of almost $13,000. And this refund, this money back in their pocket, it's the direct result of having the accountant and the lending specialist working together to structure this deal perfectly. So here's the punchline. After you factor in that huge tax refund, the actual real cash cost to hold this $1 million appreciating asset is just over $4,500 a year. Let's break that down. That's only $87 a week. Just think about that for a second. You're holding a $1 million property for less than what most people spend on coffee. So what's the payoff for that tiny weekly cost? Well, fast forward 10 years. Assuming the property's value has doubled, which is pretty normal for a good area, the surgeon has made a net profit of over $900,000. All of that from a small, weekly investment made possible only by a perfectly integrated financial strategy. And that really brings us all the way back to you. After seeing how powerful this can be, you've got to ask yourself, is my team this connected? So let's give you the right questions to go and find out. Okay, so here are a few things you can go and ask your own team. Start with the big one. Do you guys work directly with my accountant? Then dig a little deeper. How can we proactively plan my tax for next year instead of just filing for last year? And ask about your future. Have we actually looked at my super to see if it's working as hard as it could be? Can I buy property with it? But really, it all comes down to one final question. How do all of our strategies actually fit together? Believe me, their answers will tell you everything you need to know. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to reflect on. You work incredibly hard for your money, right? The really crucial question is, thanks to a connected, integrated strategy, is your money working together just as hard for you?